Hi guys, Brown here, and welcome back to what is round 9 of my F1 2019 career mode in the Toro Rosso. And for this video, I have some exciting news. We have finally got our first driver transfer. You may have seen it in the thumbnail, but we'll see it shortly in more detail. I'm going to keep it until the qualifying intros so you can fully see who it is, and then we'll discuss it after the qualifying intros have taken place. So looking at the R&D, I'm thinking of doing a reliability rather. But anyway, let's go to qualify.
Thank you for joining us once again for today's qualifying session. Sit back, relax, and enjoy what we hope will be a fantastic contest for pole position. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
Hope you're sitting comfortably, mate. We've got a sensor issue, and we're going to be stuck here for a while as we fix it.
So, to kick off qualifying, we've got a sensor issue, and this is what I was saying about the driver transfers. So as you would have seen from the thumbnail, from those intros, Nico Hülkenberg has moved from Renault to McLaren to replace Devon Butler, who has moved from McLaren to Renault. Big changes there. Butler, of course, if you go back watch the previous episodes, he weren't getting on well at McLaren, and this episode is the first one after the patch for the performances. So from the R&D, Renault are now the second worst team, only above Williams, so that's kind of his performance has dropped off, so he's gone to a lower team, which is quite cool to see. And Hülkenberg to McLaren, it looks very strange to see him in a McLaren. But as we cross the line for our first lap of qualifying, we go P3, so we're just going to skip to the end of the session. But Hülkenberg in a McLaren, I mean, his helmet kind of suits the McLaren as well as the Renault, so it's not too much. I think like some drivers, like if you see, let's say Verstappen in a Racing Point, obviously he has all the Red Bull branding, so that is kind of something that looks a bit weird. But skipping on to the end of qualifying then, those out are Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, George Russell, Sergio Perez and Robert Kubica. As we go into Q2 then, to go on to our first lap, I think qualifying here, Austria, kind of track wise for me, I'm very strong around Austria. I like to think it's one of those tracks that kind of suits my driving style. I think as we make a massive mistake down at turn 3 or turn 2, I know it's called turn 3, but we all know it's turn 2. That actual turn 2 isn't really a corner at all. As we cross the line and we go P2, but that's not going to stay there for very long, because that was an awful lap. You see Charles Leclerc cross the line to go P2, and we skip on to the last run then in Q2. I went out, so I had time for 2 runs, but on this third run you can see there is a Red Bull of Max Verstappen in front of us, and going into turn 3 he's just completely blocked us. So that's lap over, completely backed off. You're low fuel and low ERS, and I don't know what Max is doing there. Still haven't fixed that in the patch. That was something I mentioned in the Spanish Grand Prix episode. As we nearly hit Charles Leclerc there, so we try and find space to start our lap as we go round the final corner, and we'll only have one attempt to stay in the top 10. We're currently P10, so we're currently safe, but we're right on the bubble. So slipping out. So as we head up through fake turn 2 and into what should be the actual turn 2, which I think it was for 1 year. It was actually called turn 2, but then they renamed it turn 3. As we skip onto the end of the lap, a little bit wide there, coming out of turn 10 and out of the final corner up to the line, and that is going to be P8. So we had to improve on that lap. You would have seen just before we headed up to the line, we dropped to P12, and those out of Q2 are Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, and once it scrolls down in just a second it should be Devon Butler. But as we skip into Q3, this was an old set of soft tyres we set our first lap on. Not a good lap, only P9, which is kind of good. As we cross the line then to end our final run, and we're going to take P8 on the grid. So a great result for us in the Toro Rosso in qualifying. Alexander Albon getting through to Q3, we don't really see that very often. Obviously we are kind of carrying the weight of Toro Rosso on our shoulders at the minute. Points wise, he still hasn't got a point. We're only just starting to pick up points.
Work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Devon has a new contract. How do you think he'll do at his new team?
We'll see what he can do.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? Are you hoping to have your reliability issues?
Not sure what you're referring to there. My reliability's been fine. Not sure what you're on about there. No comment. Let's go to the race.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, and Vettel, Weber, Brown, Magnussen, and Alexander Albon, Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen, and Butler, Stroll, Norris, George Russell, and Sergio Perez. Kubica and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
See if you can make it a points finish today.
That is the plan, Jeff. That is the plan. So Daniel Ricciardo taking a grid penalty doesn't affect us. We still start 8th. as I believe he was knocked out in Q2. So strategy wise, I'm going to try the 2-stop and just see what happens. I didn't really want to do the 1-stop, it didn't really look that good to me. For this race, I decided to mix up a bit, rather than just being from my point of view. I've got some more like replay cameras, so we'll see what you think of that in the comment below. As the 5 lights come on here in Austria, it's lights out and away we go. The 2 Mercedes getting away well, the Red Bull there. I think Max Verstappen getting a good start as well. We're going to try and go to the inside of Lucas Weber into turn 1. There is Gasly and Charles Leclerc side by side, and I think Vettel's actually lost out to quite a few cars ahead of him there. As up to turn 1, I think it's Bottas still ahead of Hamilton as we hit the back and nearly hit the back of Kimi Raikkonen there as we try to get past Kevin Magnussen, who just outbraked myself. Cold tyres, cold brakes in turn 1. As we see further back, Alexander Albon getting a goodish start. I think he's still 10th, so he's holding on there as Sebastian Vettel attempts to get past Pierre Gasly for what I think is P5, but at the back then skipping on a couple of laps, and that is Alex Albon's engine blowing up at the final corner. The first time this season he's been in the hunt for points, and the engine has blown for him, which means we are the solo Toro Rosso left in the race as we are hunting after Gasly and Lucas Weber, who's just flown past Gasly there. Heading up to turn 3, we're kind of sitting back with the popcorn. So Albon's engine blowing is kind of a bit scary for us. Just going to manage our engine now as here comes Gasly back at Lucas Weber into turn 1 down the inside. They're still side by side. Weber gets a better exit and we're starting to get our nose involved here. These are battling so hard. I think it's gaining a good 2.5 a lap whilst these two are battling. As round the outside Gasly tries to get past Weber there. Weber just hanging on there side by side. You can see we're closer here. We're going to try going to the inside of Weber. We absolutely fly past him, DRS, and we're going to go for the lunge down the inside of Pierre Gasly. Slight contact and we earn that place. So up 2 positions then in the space of a straight and a corner, up into P6. And the pace we had on the soft was quite good. As you can see, we're starting to pull away as Weber tries to re-overtake Pierre Gasly for that P7 position. Gasly getting the better exit, but as we see from this camera angle, looking back at Weber as he goes off screen, this camera angle really the best. But I think Weber's still there on the inside. You can see Kimi Raikkonen now getting involved with the action. He's catching these two very quickly as well there. But Weber has maintained his position in P7. And we're kind of laughing at this point up front, just pulling and pulling. And there goes Gasly into turn 1 again. Down the inside, Raikkonen now right on the back of these two. And I think that line's compromised Gasly. And here comes Kimi Raikkonen on the outside of Gasly here. Can he get past? He's going to go to the outside at turn 3. Right round the outside. He's going to try the Iceman. And he's still side by side. He's going to get the better exit. And he's flying right round the outside of Gasly here. But Gasly's got the run on him. And he's going to try to his outside. But he backs out of it. He doesn't fancy going round the outside of Raikkonen at turn 4. As we skip on then to the end of the lap and on to the next one into turn 1. As we try this, Gasly tries to have a little look at Raikkonen again, and this is kind of the battle that helped me out in this race. Obviously Weber's starting to pull away a little bit now, but we were still pulling on Weber as round the outside Gasly tries to get past Kimi Raikkonen there. That's not going to happen, but he has got the job done in fact. Raikkonen can't find a way past. As we skip on a couple of laps, I think this is, and Gasly's caught the back of Lucas Weber in the other Alfa Romeo. Raikkonen not really got the pace to stick with the Red Bull, and round the outside at turn 3 is going to try. It gets the power down, and he absolutely flies round the outside of Lucas Weber there, and that's him up into P7. Weber trying to defend to the outside. That's not going to happen now. And you can see up front we've completely disappeared. With a couple of laps ago we were still in shot, but we've completely gone now. I think we're a good 6-7 seconds up the road at this point, as the two Alphas start battling now. It's Raikkonen versus Weber. As there goes Raikkonen to the outside. It's Raikkonen on the right, Weber on the left, as they head up into turn 3, round the outside. Raikkonen's going to try, Weber's going to have the inside line though, but he hasn't got the traction out of turn 3. And Weber, I think he has just stayed ahead. This camera angle is absolutely dreadful on the Alfa Romeo. And he does stay ahead. Raikkonen is still behind his teammate, and look at the time, starting to lose to Gasly. As here on lap 16 we're going to make up one and only stop. I decided to change the strategy onto the one stop onto the hards, which obviously was the first strategy, soft to the hards. So we'll just see how that goes, and hopefully we can bring home this P6 in this race. So we just, in all that, we just got our head down, started battling, but as you can see here, Gasly has pitted and he's on the mediums, and at this point in the race I thought he was on the 2-stop. As he tries to go to our inside there, we defend him. So I thought we were still on the right strategy at this point in the race, as Gasly tries to go to our inside at turn 1. It's round the outside, we have to try and defend him. We've gone from sitting back to having to show our skills here on Gasly, as he's just flown right round our outside there. I'm not having that. As we head up through turn 2 and up to turn 3, we're going to head to his outside. That's not going to work though. We're going to try and do the cutback and go to his inside, but we're on the harder tyre, so we haven't really got the pace here. We're on the back of Pierre Gasly. I'm going to pull out to the outside. Of course, that is the seat I kind of want next season, if not the season after, and we've gone sailing round his outside there and up into P6 once again. As in the background pulling off is Kimi Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo. He's had such a good battle with his teammate and with Gasly, but reliability issues have sent him out of this race. And let's just listen to that engine. Definitely something electrical. As we look back, confirmation that Raikkonen has retired. Gasly is breathing down our neck as we try and hold him off, as there is Gasly flying down our inside. We're going to do the cut back here a lap later on in this race. We're on the back of Gasly. We're going to try go to his outside, but we're going to do the switchback. We're going to swap him an absolute dummy and a half down his inside, squeeze him out, and that is good hard racing. As here we can see the battle everyone wants to see at the minute in real life in F1. It's Leclerc v Verstappen. Leclerc coming out on top in that occasion, as here comes Gasly in the Red Bull again to our inside. We're just going to go sailing right round his outside and defend him into turn 10 and into turn 11. But heading up into turn 1 here, we've gone very defensive to the inside. Here he comes to our outside. He's going to try and go around the outside again here, and he does. And it was at this point in the race, as we go for the dive bomb into turn 4, we retake that position of P6 and down the inside. Gasly tries again. It's not working for him, is it? but this is kind of his little sister versus big sister, to put it in a fun terms. Of course, Toro Rosso, the sister team to Red Bull, as Gasly tries again round our outside, or sorry, down our inside. As here comes Lucas Weber on the back of Pierre Gasly. You can see in the background Sergio Perez in that racing point, who started 19th, is currently P8. So what a race he's had, as he's starting to catch the back, as Weber does get past Gasly, as here comes Weber on us now. So it's us versus our old F2 rival. We've squeezed him out, and here comes Gasly flying past the German once again, as they head up through turn 2 and into turn 3. Gasly on the inside, Weber on the outside, Gasly trying to squeeze him out. Weber's going to have the traction, or does he? No, he doesn't, and that's cost Weber the position, but he's going to try and go to the outside again there. He's been doing absolute wonders in the Alfa Romeo this season. And you can see Sergio Perez now is on the back of this pack, and it's only lap 28. Action-packed race this is. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. This is a hell of a race, as Gasly tries once again to our outside. We're not having that. We're going to squeeze him out, push him wide a little bit, not that much, not as like the other lap, and he's going to try and re-overtake us here into turn 4. I think he's just a little bit too far back on that occasion. It's down the inside. He maybe thought about it there. There was a little gap that I left, but here he comes again. Going to defend the outside to our inside. Gasly tries again as we defend round the outside, and this is really proving to Red Bull whilst we deserve that seat. It might just be a game, but we still want to prove why we should be in Red Bull, and being at Toro Rosso doing the driving we're doing is the perfect place to be. Of course, as down the inside we try on Gasly to defend our position yet again. The kind of wall of brown here. I was just trying everything to stay ahead of Gasly, and it was at this point in the race I realised you could do a one-stop on the medium. So Toro Rosso putting us on the wrong strategy of the one-stop, as here comes Gasly again to our inside, and he's got us here, but we're not having that. We're going to do the switch back and go to his outside, but we couldn't get back past him, and Gasly now has properly got us in this race. Here we come then, we're re-overtaking Gasly. I think it was down the inside at turn 1 or something. I'm not sure where, as he tries to re-overtake us here. But he can't do that down the inside. He thought about it, but here he comes to the outside, heading through the little kink of turn 2. As down the inside, we're going to dive bomb him, lock up, push him off the track, and Sergio Perez in the racing point is going to squeeze through, and maybe even Lucas Weber here. So we've just cost Pierre Gasly one position, and possibly even another here, as Weber tries to go around his outside, can't do that. Lewis Hamilton though wins the Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas second. It's going to be P3 when he comes round the corner for Charles Leclerc. And then here comes the two battling pair. It's Vettel then Verstappen. Some lap cars coming through, but here we come to take a solid P6, and it's going to be P7 for Perez, P8 for Gasly, and P9 for Lucas Weber.
Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Well, what a race that was. Mercedes 1-2, Hamilton from Bottas. I think that's Hamilton's 4th win of the season or something. See 2 retirements, Albon and Raikkonen. And Sergio Perez picking up driver of the day from P19 to P7. Wow, as we've now got 20 points in the standings, 2 points clear of Romain Grosjean in the Haas, and we need to get our head down and start chasing after Kevin Magnussen on 26 points, so 6 points clear of us is Magnussen. In the constructors then, look at this, so we single-handedly are beating Alfa Romeo, McLaren and Williams, all our constructors points being ours. Remember, Albon still yet to have a single point this year.
I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Judging from today's race, it must be pretty hard to fend off Devon when he wants to pass.
I didn't battle Devon today, I battled Weber.
Do you think it was a smart move by his new team to sign up your old F2 rival?
No, I don't know what Renault were thinking.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
I would be.
Great, well that's everything.
So as we come back to the paddock, what a race that was. We are so close now in the rivalry with Weber. We're still losing it. He's got 28, I think that's it, and we've got 26. We've got a good healthy chunk of resource points from that. So let's have a little look then at the resource points. Here's the transcript, pause the video if you want to read through them. But here we go into the R&D, and we're going to do an upgrade on the MG UK because that started to wear in that race. So that will come in for the next race hopefully. But wow, what a race. Easily the best race of the season. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button and subscribe for more if you enjoyed. Stick around for some more. The next race at Silverstone, my home Grand Prix at the British Grand Prix, so that will be coming out on Wednesday. But yeah, I need to lie down after that race. Well, what a race. Easily topped any other round, and I think we deserve that seat next to Max at Red Bull. Till Silverstone. Goodbye.